This is He Knows His Sport, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right. It seemed like folks don't understand when I say that guy, that argument. They don't understand what that means when it comes to basketball. So hear me and hear me well. Let me explain what that guy means. Here's the thing with basketball. When you look at basketball, you have to look at it from a lens of what basketball is defined as. Basketball, in its highest form, is as simple as this. It's not a team game. Let me say that again. Basketball is not a team game. Anyone that tells you this, they are missing a few screws. They only see basketball on the surface. They only basically see basketball as a status quo person. Basketball, at its truest and most properest levels, are this. It's basically that guy, right? And how that guy defines the team. Let me say that again. Basketball is basically that guy and how that guy defines the team. Let me explain. Because today there's going to be a lot of explaining. So take your notepads out and get to the damn scribbling. So hear me and hear me well. This is how you understand basketball at its truest and most properest levels. What does a team do when they want to build a team? They don't go and just get role players. They don't do all of that stuff. When a team is serious, right, and they want to contend, what is the first thing that they go and do? They go to what's called the NBA draft. Or any team, whether it's high school, middle school, elementary, they do their variation of a draft. They basically wait until that kid becomes of age and they start scouting that kid from whatever school or whatever prior grade that they were in, whatever prior school that they were in. If they were elementary, now they go into middle school, they look to see who the best elementary students are. So you guys are getting the point. This goes all the way up into the pros. Before they go and get role players, before they go and get anybody else that's going to impact the team, right? They go and they try to get that guy. Why is that guy important? Because you need the focal point of the team. They're not looking for role players. They're not looking for anybody else. They're looking for that guy. He has to be the one to define what the team is all about. So hence, when we're talking about basketball at its highest levels, teams, organizations are teaching you this by the decisions that they're making. They need a focal point. They need someone who's going to shepherd, who's going to lead, and who's going to drive that team. This is why that guy, that argument is so truthful in its most purest form when it comes to basketball. Organizations are teaching you this. Now, when they go out there and they get the actual guy that they believe can define what this team looks like, right? What do they do after that? They go and they get a number two. They basically go and get a Robin figure. Because remember, the guy on that team, he needs a counterpart. If he's Batman, he needs a Robin, right? If he's Superman, he needs a Batman, right? That's what happens. You need that counterpart, that number two, to complement that guy. And here's the thing. That guy's not always going to be 100%. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be times where that guy can't be that guy. That's just humanity. You know what I'm saying? That's just that person being human. They're not going to always be that guy each and every single time. They're going to have what we call bad games. They're going to have what we call bad nights. So this is where a Robin role and then supplementary roles after the Robin role are essential and pivotal. Because when that guy can't pick it up, which are in stretches of here and there, you know what I'm saying, in pop moments, you need these other pieces to be able to pick it up for him in those here and there moments. So now after you get your Robin role, now you're looking for role players because you want to complete this team. Now, after the organization has been satisfied and they've gotten everything that they need from the team, right? They've gotten that guy, they've gotten their Robin or their number 2, and then they have all the supplementary pieces to follow thereafter. Now you have a team. Now, what happens is we need to figure out what kind of team this is because now the organization has done their part. They've put the money out there. They've invested in the draft. They've gone out there and they've gotten the team that they needed to get, right? They put the pieces together. Now that team needs to be defined. Now the team has to show you what their product is out there on the basketball court. So when the team goes out there and play on the basketball court, right? We are going to learn one or two things. We're going to learn their true metal, which is basically how the team is determined based on adversity, based on playing against their competition, right? Based on them playing against their contemporary or their peers. And then we're also going to know how they are going to gel as a unit. Well, this is how this happens. That guy, right? The shepherd, the leader of that team, has to define the DNA and the fiber of what that team is going to be. Because that team is as strong as that guy allows them to be. If that guy is not strong, the team is not strong. Because the team has to be led. Remember, the team is filled with role players and it's filled with a number 2. These are all sheep. They need a shepherd to lead them. If you don't have a shepherd, how are you led effectively? Think about that for a second. All the greatest teams in basketball, when you look at the NBA for a second, even if you look at the collegiate level, what have they all been defined by? They've all been defined by how that leader, that guy, who's also known as the superstar, how far he's willing to ascend, or how far she's willing, because we got WNBA and we got women's basketball, how far they are willing to ascend their game so that they can take their team over the top. If that central piece is not there mentally and physically, then the team is not there mentally and physically. Let alone, you don't even have that central piece there in the first place. How is the heartbeat of that team? How is the soul of that team? How is the driving factor of that team going to be successful if that central piece is not there? So I say all of this to say this. Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is that guy for Golden State Warriors. He is the central piece. Back in 2016, Draymond Green did a whole lot of tampering with Klay Thompson, with Stephen Curry, and all these boys. What did they all come to the conclusion of? They all came to that same conclusion that, you know what, man? We really need that guy to take us over the top because we're operating as a team, right? But the way that we're operating, it's not, the sum does not have all of its pieces. The sum does not have all of its parts. So we need that over-the-top player. We need that guy that's going to ensure that we can continue to be successful. Now, people get caught up and they say, well, Golden State Warriors, they were winning, prior to Kevin Durant. Okay. Let's see. Stephen Curry. Oh, Stephen Curry was that guy before Kevin Durant. Okay. Now, there is an award in basketball that tells you when someone is that guy. It's called Finals MVP. If you look at the years prior to Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry has not won Finals MVPs. So there's a reason why he hasn't been winning Finals MVPs. All you have to do is go look at the NBA Finals. The NBA Finals is a telltale, folks. It's giving you a glaring picture of why this man wasn't winning. So what was the issue? What was it? Okay. If you don't know, I'll explain. Stephen Curry is what I call a consistency of inconsistency. I'm going to say that again. Stephen Curry is what I call a consistency of inconsistency. That first year they played against the Cavaliers, they won. That was the ultimate result. But who was the finals MVP? It was Andre Iguodala. I wonder why Andre Iguodala was the finals MVP. Could it be because Andre Iguodala shut down LeBron James? Could that be that case? Because people are like, oh, LeBron James was putting up 41 points per game. But people don't understand situational basketball. They don't understand pressurized situations. They don't understand intangibles. A man could score 41 points, but if he doesn't do it effectively, then it doesn't matter how many points he scored. He could score 100 points. The reason why Andre Iguodala got the finals MVP is because he was a consistency of consistency in that NBA finals. He was nullifying LeBron James in the pivotal stretches of games. Hence, that was giving the Golden State Warriors the lift that they need so that they could deliver the goods. So hence, Andre Iguodala in that series was the over-the-top player. That's why he got the over-the-top award. What is the over-the-top award? Finals MVP. This is why he got it, folks. Because he was over the top in his play. You understand? He gave you over the top defense. Remember, basketball is as simple as this. Offense gets the glory, but defense wins championships. The great Dennis Rodman said that. I think he said that in one of these movies he had with Jean-Claude Van Damme. But I just thought it was one of the greatest terms I've ever heard. He said, offense gets the glory, but defense wins championships. You can't get no more right than that. He's absolutely correct when he says that offense gets the glory, but defense wins championships. Because defense wins championships, folks. What was Stephen Curry too busy doing why he couldn't get the finals MVP? He was too busy making Matthew Dellavedova look like he was a stud. But you Stephen Curry, right? You the razzle-dazzle king, right? You the man, right? Why are you letting the Matthew Dellavedova shut you down? Could it be is because Stephen Curry's game has limitations? Could it be because Stephen Curry is a alpha wannabe, but really he's a super high-octane beta? Could it be that? Because if that's what it is, now we're telling ourselves the truth. Now let's fast forward. The second year when they went up against the Cavs. What happened? See, I have to do this so that you guys can understand why the Kevin Durant scenario had to happen the way it had to happen. The second year when they played against the Cavaliers. What happened? Come on, folks. Don't act like you don't know what happened in that series. Don't act like you don't know, folks. Here's what happened. Kevin Durant. No, not Kevin Durant. Stephen Curry was feeling himself. He was pumping his chest, right? He was like, man, we won the finals, dog. We the snuff. We the shit. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody mess with us, right? He was getting shoe endorsement deals. You know, everybody wanted to be like Stephen Curry because, man, he plays below the rim. He's a guy that just chucks up three-point shots. The best three-point shooter, right? The best pure three-point shooter we've ever seen in the NBA, right? Okay. Stephen Curry got his credit for that. But what was the end result in that next year in the finals? Because Draymond Green went out, right? Andrew Bogut went out, right? But remember, folks, no excuses. Even with those two guys out, they still had more than enough to defeat the Cleveland Cavaliers. No excuses. They should have won. What happened? LeBron James was able to get in Stephen Curry's head. And when he got in Stephen Curry's head, Stephen Curry, because he has another deficiency, he doesn't like to pass the ball, right? Stephen Curry turned around and Stephen Curry acted like nobody else needed to be involved. So hence, because he acted like nobody else needed to be involved, no one else was involved. So he would have fits with him and Klay Thompson like, yo, you act like you can't pass the ball. LeBron James did his job. Because that was the one time that I gave LeBron James credit. I was like, man, he used the mastery of getting in somebody's head. And it was so effective the way he did that. But you know why Stephen Curry was able to allow himself to get bamboozled, beguiled, and betwixt by LeBron James, of all people? It's because he is not a true alpha on that team. He's an alpha wannabe. He's not the guy. Because when you are the guy, you can't let somebody else define who you are. When you're the guy, you define yourself. Oof. Let me say that again. Because I need to rewind that. Because I need to let this one sink in. When you are the guy, you don't let no one define who you are. You define yourself. So what was the end result? The Golden State Warriors lost. So let's fast forward. Because we're going to wrap this up. What happened at the end of that year? Golden State Warriors came to a pivotal decision. Bob Myers, hats off to him. Because he came to a pivotal decision of realizing that guess what? We need a team. We need a guy that's going to put us over the top. Absence this guy, we're not winning anymore. Mind you, we're not even going to be competitive anymore. Screw that. So what they went and did? They went and begged for the services. I mean, they were doing that all year, right? But then they really ramped it up. Draymond Green was doing it. Klay Thompson was doing it. I don't think Stephen Curry did it until that offseason, right? Because that was the silver lining. Kevin Durant was waiting to see, hey, are you? Because I know, and you know, but we need the whole world to know that you got to defer to me. Because you at your truest and properest levels is an actual Robin. Now, if you're going to tell the world this, I'll go and play for your team and I'll deliver the goods because I am that super over the top player, right? So Stephen Curry came out and he did the greatest thing that a player ever done. Dwayne Wade did that same crap too. But that's another conversation here and there. I didn't appreciate Wade doing it. But anyways, because Wade's not really Stephen Curry. But I'd have to talk about that on another topic. Stephen Curry does it, right? And then Kevin Durant comes to the conclusion, oh, man, okay. So since you're willing to do this, that means that you understand. You have let the world know that I have to run the team. Because there's a hierarchy in basketball here, folks. You need that guy, that shepherd, that leader to lead your team. Because once he does that, then the team can be over the top. Now we know. Once Kevin Durant went on the team, what was it? History. Back-to-back finals MVPs. Now we're in this year, folks. What's going on right now? People forget they are prisoner of the moments and prisoner of seconds. What happened all the way up until Kevin Durant got injured? He was that super over-the-top player that was delivering the goods game after game, damn near having everybody as spectators because they had to watch him do what he does best. Surgery on bodies like, hey, doctor, he was a surgeon. That's what he did. He dominated. Then he got up and got injured, and people got caught up. Oh, the Golden State Warriors, they beat the Houston Rockets, a team that they are tailor-made to beat, minus Kevin Durant. They beat the Portland Trailblazers, a team that they are tailor-made to beat, minus Kevin Durant. People forgot that. But then when I told everybody they were supposed to face a real team, right, that had real defensive efficiency, right, they were going to be in trouble. So what ended up happening? It could have been either the Milwaukee Bucks or the Toronto Raptors. You pick your poison, folks. So when they played either one of those teams, what has been the result? And what have I told people from the jump? No KD trade 5, no NBA 3-peat. Yes, KD trade 5. Yes, NBA 3-peat. What's the series right now? 1-3. So all these people that supposedly think that they know basketball, what have everyone come to the conclusion of? That guy argument makes a lot of sense. He knows his sport has been talking that real stuff. He knows his sport has been bringing you that what? That heat and that fire. So now people understand when it comes to basketball, when you have that guy, you're going to win. When you don't have that guy, it's absence victory. It's really that simple, folks. That's what basketball at its truest and most properest levels. You go look at the greatest teams that have played, they always had that guy that led the ship. Absence that guy, they don't have nothing. And if anybody tells you otherwise, they don't know nothing about basketball. It's really that simple. This is He Knows His Sport. Checking out.